Well, Chief, new signings arrived in Wellington. New hairdo as well to mark his signing.
Yeah, it's appropriate, I think. No, it's good. He's embraced from day one. You know, wants to be a big part of this team and wants to contribute, and he feels as though he has a lot to give, and that just shows his enthusiasm.
And I know we've asked you in recent times, but when are you expecting him to be available to play?
So he'll be on feet today with some testing. Yesterday he got screened, and hopefully during the week, next week, he'll join all the boys for a normal training session, and then hopefully be available for MacArthur.
Yeah, so what's the reason for not wanting to rush him in? And I guess when you look at how stretched you've been maybe in midfield for the last few weeks, is it a shame he wasn't here 2 games ago?
Oh, look, it would have helped, but at the same time, the boys that we have now are doing a great job. So it would have given us something extra, but at the same time, we need to make sure that he's in the right physical space. He had a bit of a strain on his hamstring maybe about a month ago, so we want to make sure that all the effects of that strain are gone, and then it's just more about getting him conditioned to the training and also to the loads of the A-League. It's different to the Costa Rican League, you know, different services, different tempo of match, and just getting just used to the boys in general.
Yeah, I guess after this weekend, not too much of the season to go, but you still feel there's enough room there for him to make an impact?
Oh, I think that he'll make a massive impact. That's why we signed him. You know, it's going to take him a bit of time, hopefully sooner rather than later. I kind of envisage maybe taking him about 3 to 4 weeks before he gets his footing right. I've already spoken to him about that. It's more about incremental steps into the league. I don't want to throw him in and then, you know, he kind of finds it a little bit difficult to start. It's more about integration, but I think he's a really good pro. So yeah, I think hopefully he'll custom quicker than that.
And has there been an update with scans on Sam Sutton and Oscar Zawada's in terms of what exactly they've done? So
Suts is better than expected. There's no tear. I think it was more of an aggravated strain. So I think he goes in early next week, and we'll get a jab in the ankle, and hopefully that means that he can start training straight after that, and then he should be available for Perth.
And yeah, Oscar.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oz at the moment is seeking treatment. Scans still haven't come back to give a definitive answer, so it's still as expected.
Okay, and just final one from me. After 2 draws, what's the expectation for a Western United team that's sort of arriving in not great form and you're at the top of the table?
Well, the expectations are the same for every game. We want to win the game. Because they're last, it doesn't make it any less, or make it easier. It makes it actually harder, because they're still playing for something in their season. We found them actually quite difficult when we played them in Ballarat. So we go into the match, you know, eyes wide open and respecting the opponent. They have some good players. You know, we're a big fan of Pena. You know, he's a very influential 10. And even young players like Bodic, you know, probably haven't been as effective this year as they were last year, but still dangerous players. So for us, we have to go into it with the mindset that it's like a semi-final.
When you're top though, Chief, and they're bottom, and you're at home, do you look to impose yourself more on the game because of those factors?
I've always said that being the home team, you have to take the game to the away team. They travel, which is a big factor, and you'll see we usually take a more conservative approach on the road because of that. So the fact that they're kind of struggling away from home as well, we'll take the game to them like we have every home opponent. I don't think there's a game where we've sat back at home. We'll try to play attacking brand at home. But again, we're on the cautious side where we want to make sure that we respect the opponent. I don't like this idea of top versus bottom, because at the end of the day, the 90 minutes doesn't lie. You can't win the game before playing and the kickoff. So we've made that mistake maybe previously in a game, and it was a good lesson then. So we won't be making it again.
Do you believe in momentum though, and the fact that you guys are top, you're on a good run of results, they're bottom on a average run of results? Do you believe in momentum in football and from game to game?
Momentum works from week to week, but it also works within the game. So I'll give you the example. When Newcastle came here, we were flying as well. Newcastle scored in the first 5 minutes, and then they built belief. So momentum can shift very, very quickly. But at the same time, you know, seasons unfortunately are more about grinding than they are about momentum. And you know, if you look at all the teams, it doesn't matter what league, the teams that usually are at the top, they win consistently, they grind performances, but it's not always pretty. It's not always to the game plan. You know, sometimes there might be a big event in a game, or, you know, they can play terribly and they'll get a goal last minute. So there's a vast array of variants where, yeah, hopefully we just fall into that groove and get the results.
Just one on Youstin from me. Where is his best position in your system?
Everywhere. That's why I signed him.
So, can I just get in the mind of Chelsea? How do you come across a player in the Costa Rican league, and how much Costa Rican football are you watching? Youstin came on my radar when I was watching the World Cup, and I'm not sure if everyone remembers. It was the last group game against Germany, and it was the one where Costa Rica took the lead. Japan took the lead, and then Costa Rica was on top, were qualifying, and so were Japan. And I remember watching the second half in the office, and I remember noting the right back. I Googled him, made sure there was a couple of players that I Googled, and he was just in the memory bank. And then there was an agent that I frequent with a lot. He mentioned that there was a couple of Costa Rican players. I said, "Is this one of the players?" And he said, "Yes." So then it was, okay, there was a bit of interest then. I was looking at potentially bringing him in at the start of the season, and then I just felt it wasn't the right move at the time. And then now the opportunity that the board luckily gave me some money to bring someone in, and I thought he's the right player. And I've just been keeping tabs on him, and there's a bunch of other players I've been keeping tabs on just in case, you know, this moment came. So I just feel at this moment, I think he's the right player. So what do you like about him, and what do you think he's going to bring to this?
I think more than anything is just the energy that he brings to the team. You'll see when he plays, he works like I hate to use the word, like a bulldog. He just works and works, and you know, he's got a lot of energy, and technically he's very good. You know, he plays a forward pass quite well, but he also can defend. He can play a forward pass. He can be creative as well. So it's just a mixture of things, and I feel like he's just the right player.
He's played a lot of games for a team that's been successful there. So how does a club like that agree to release a player like that on loan?
I think it's more timing than anything. I think Saprissa have had the intention of trying to sell him for a while because they see him as a high stock player. Unfortunately, like most things, you know, it's not a lot of people are looking to the Costa Rican directly, Costa Rican league, and that's no disrespect to Costa Rica. It's just not it's not considered like a window league. So I think they found that if he comes to Australia, potentially, you know, that opens up markets like Asia. So the intention is still that I think they've re-extended his contract with the intention to sell him at some point, and they feel like him coming to the A-League opens him up to maybe the Asian market as well, and potentially Europe as well.
So if he does well here and you want to keep him, you probably have to...
Well, that's really up to him. I think we're in a position where if he does well and, you know, the resources are made available, we could re-sign him. He's traditionally he's a defender, midfielder, so the price on those players are not as high as, for example, an attacking player. But you know, we'll look to sign him if that's a possibility. But I'd like to think the best case scenario is, you know, we can win the competition and he goes where he needs to go and he makes the money that he wants, and Saprissa makes the money they want. So that would be the ideal. And
just in terms of availabilities for this week,
yes.
Is Mo back available, and what's the plan with Ben Old?
Yeah, so Mo, Nico's back, Oldie, still it's more about making sure that we don't put him at risk after not training for long periods of time. He just played 90 minutes the other week, probably longer than what we expected him to play. So we have to make the assessment for tomorrow whether he starts or not, whether that's being cautious and putting his, you know, his long-term health as a priority. So I think, yeah, we'll just have to take those things into consideration. But Mo is fit as well, so yeah, we'll be close to full fitness for most players.